All right, we're looking at finding x and y intercepts. So an x-intercept of a graph is a coordinate of a point where the graph crosses the x-axis. The value of this coordinate always has a y of 0. So wherever y is 0, that is your x-intercept. The y-intercept's the opposite. It's where it crosses the y-axis. The x at the y-intercept will always be 0. So if we want to find the y-intercept, go find where x is 0. So first from a graph, which is the simplest, there's our 2 points that are our x and y intercept. Our x-intercept there is at 3, 0, because it always has a y of 0, and your y-intercept is at 0, 6. Just like that again, if we look at the next one, this x-intercept is at 4, 0, and the y-intercept would be at 0, 2. And one more just like that. X-intercept here, 2, 0, and your y-intercept is at 0, negative 1. Okay, most common mistakes there is people just putting the zeros in the wrong spot when you're writing your point. So if you're writing your x-intercept, make sure the y value is 0. If you're writing the y-intercept, make sure the x value is 0. Okay, next from a table is our x column, there's our y column. So you're still looking for those zeros. There's one and there's one. So your x-intercept is the one that has the y of 0. So my x-intercept there is 3, 0, which means my y-intercept is 0, 6. Move on to the next one. X-intercept there, where y is 0, would be 4, 0, and your y-intercept would be 0, 2. And one more like that. Once again, where the y is 0 is your x-intercept, so 3, 0, and then my x-intercept would be 0, or sorry, my y-intercept would be 0, negative 9. My x-intercept was the 3, 0. Okay, so graphs and tables are the easiest to pick out, or I'd say the least amount of work to pick out the x and y intercepts. Most work is going to become when we're given an equation. So if we're given an equation, we're going to have to plug in the 0. So for the x-intercept, we know y is 0. So if I go plug in 0 for y here, 6 times 0 is 0. So that goes away. So all I'm left with is 4x equals 180. So typically when you do this, you're going to be left with a one-step equation to solve. So all we have to do is divide by 4. And we're going to get an x-intercept of 45. So 45, 0. And then we do the same thing for the y-intercept, and put the 0 in the other spot. So the 0 for the x means we're left with, I'll work it over here on the right, 6y equals 180. Divide by 6, and when you divide 180 by 6, we're going to get y is 30. So my y-intercept is 0, 30. That's all there is to it. So a couple more examples like that. For the x-intercept on the next one, when y is 0, we're left with 2x equals 24. So we divide by 2, and we get x is 12. So 12, 0 would be our x-intercept. For your y-intercept, plug in 0 for the x, and we're left with negative 8y, don't forget that negative in front of it, equals 24. So we divide by negative 8, we get y equals negative 3. So 0, negative 3 would be our y-intercept. And then the last one, once again, we plug in 0 for the y to find the x-intercept. We're left with 3x equals 9, divide by 3, and we get x equals 3. So our x-intercept is 3, 0. And for the y-intercept, we're going to go plug the 0 in for the x, which leaves you negative 3y equals 9. Divide by negative 3, and we get y equals negative 3. So 0, negative 3 would be your y-intercept. Okay, so those are the 3 types of examples you're going to see from a graph, table, or equation finding the x and y intercepts. So you can use those to complete the classwork. I do want to point out one question on the back, one equation that's just set up slightly different, the last one. So all those other ones were in what we called standard form, ax plus by equals c. Here we're presented one with a slope-intercept form. Now, slope-intercept form, it makes the y-intercept very easy to find. The x-intercept is going to take a little more work. So for the y-intercept, if I plug in 0 for x, 3/5 times 0 goes away. All I'm left with is y equals -12, which makes sense. In slope-intercept form, we know this is our y-intercept. So 0, -12 is your y-intercept. But in return for that being easier, the x-intercept takes a little more work. If we plug a 0 in for y, we're left with 3/5 x minus 12. So we have a two-step equation to solve. So first we're going to add the 12. And then we have a fraction times x, so we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, 5 over 3. So when we do 12 times 5/3, we get 20. So x is 20. So our x-intercept, there would be 20, 0.